Hey everyone, it's Strange Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a review here for a horror film that was very beloved in 2023 when it came out. It's a film directed by, and I assume written by, the guys who are from the YouTube channel Raka Raka, who I've been watching for a very long time. Or is it Raka Raka? I don't think I ever had a real clue of who pronounces it which way, what's correct, what's not. Who cares though? Anyway, I've been a fan of these guys for a long time. I loved their Ronald McDonald crazy videos. Those were super funny. They're really fun dudes to watch. They have a lot of personality. Apparently it's not just two brothers, it's like a whole family that do this stuff. But anyway, they put out a film called Talk to Me that came out in 2023, and again, it was very beloved. A lot of people really talked about this a lot. Everywhere I went, in the regular film community, the horror community, everywhere. Book communities were talking about it when it came to horror fans like myself. And I was so curious about it, even though it was an A24 film, and I'm not an A24 guy at all. Let me really make that explicitly clear. I am not an A24 art house fan, and I was worried this would delve too far into the art house stuff, and really it's not. It's normie fare for normie horror fans, or just normies in general who are just normies about movies in general, who don't really know much about horror and think this kind of thing is scary. I know that sounds like an insult, because it kind of is, to be honest with you. Talk to Me is one of the most overrated horror films I have ever seen in my life. Coming out of a year where we had things like Cobweb, that was almost like a mixture of adult horror with Goosebumps in a really creative, fun way. Talk to Me has a great, iconic item at its front, on its poster, in its trailers, that was just a hand that if you grabbed it and did like a little handshake at like a party, it basically became a party favor, by the way, that a bunch of teens are using, including our main character, that when you touch this thing and hold its hand, you begin to see spirits, and you see a different spirit every time that you touch this thing. Super cool concept, super cool idea for like a party favor that by this time that these teenagers would have found it, somebody would have told CNN or Fox or somebody to prove ghosts exist. Somebody could have made a fortune off of this. Maybe there's a sequel idea in the future they could do with that. I don't know. They are making a Talk to Me 2. It should be Talk to Me. And if they have any kind of creativity in their brain, they would put the poster with the stupid-ass hand going like this. Anyway, Talk to Me is essentially about that. This hand that makes people see spirits. And I love the storyline about this hand that is explained in like 2 sentences and never really talked about ever again. Again, I'm assuming that's supposed to tease a future sequel of some sort, assuming this would be very successful for A24, and it was. So I assume that now we will get more backstory on that hand, and I'm super stoked about that because that would be awesome. Because it would make up for all the shit I sat through in this movie. The movie's an hour and a half, it flies by, the budget is good for it on a lower budget scale. The movie looks great, it's well shot, and that's about it. That's really the positives for me. The plot isn't really there, it kind of just meanders around about going to parties, it kind of meanders around about the main character and her best friend or whatever, and like their families and stuff like that. The main character lost her mom. She kind of has like a sort of a falling out with her dad. There's a lot of that in here in the veins of this film. It really doesn't have much more going for it in the character department. The acting is fine, I guess, for most people. But it feels like such a postmodern, again, normie horror film that I don't understand where people are coming from when they say they love this kind of thing versus something like in 2022 we had Deadstream, which I think is one of the best horror films in the last 10 years, one of the best horror comedies to ever be made, easily. And that didn't get the praise that something like this got for some reason. Everywhere I go, it seems like everybody loves Talk to Me, and I don't understand why the obsession is with this thing. It's like movies have gotten so bad that things like this get put up on such a high pedestal. It's really sad, man, when you really think about it. Again, it's well shot. I appreciate the good things about it. But the bad, for me, really, really, really taints the good in this movie. Talk to Me feels so lackluster. I don't really understand what is the big proponent of everybody loving this aside from shills out there telling everybody it's so great. It's fine, but not great, not even really good for that matter. Frankly, I think it's kind of underneath average, to be honest with you. Not really scary, not filled with jump scares, which is a really nice surprise to people like me. I guess A24 wouldn't allow that, and I guess these guys from Raka Raka didn't want to do that, which is cool. I love that about that. But everything else didn't really make up for what I expected from Talk to Me. I hoped it would be better. It's really not, to be honest with you. Even down to the music, the sound design, none of that is really special enough to make this movie iconic and great outside of that really cool hand and the small little 2-sentence story attached to it. That's it. There's really nothing super frightening about it, nothing super atmospheric about it. The ending is kind of predictable. The movie itself is kind of predictable. It's got a couple of weird, gross out, Sam Raimi style YouTube horror short film type of jokes and comments in there that I thought were super bizarre for this kind of movie and what it was trying to achieve as an art house horror film, or semi-art house. Like I said, it's not fully in this weird Nicholas Winding Refn Stanley Kubrick era, but it's fine. But it's also underneath average to me. I wasn't impressed with this. I really don't understand the obsession with Talk to Me that everybody seems to have out in my spheres of different communication about books and movies and horror in general. I don't get it, don't really care about it enough to find out why people are obsessed with it. It's really not the kind of film like Drive, also from Nicholas Winding Refn, that I had to watch a second time to really love and appreciate. It's not like that. It's just, this is so much for like teenagers that just don't see many horror films or really don't know what special horror is or how special it can be. That's what I see Talk to Me as. Anyway, if I had to rate Talk to Me on a 5-star basis, I would give this like a 2 out of 5 stars. It's got some positives in there, but really nothing that I would recommend to go out of your way to go check this out. I waited for ages for this thing to drop down to $5 to rent. Watched it with my mom at her house, and she wasn't impressed either, which surprised me. But yeah, what a waste, man. Such a bummer. I hope Talk to Me is going to be a lot better, but we'll see. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts and comments about my review and Talk to Me down in the comments section down below. Let me know everything you think. God bless you guys. Goodbye.